So, the first day of a new job can be weird, right? You get up early, you got your clothes fixed up right, you got your hair fixed up right, you had a good breakfast, you got your teeth all shined up, you're ready to go. You stop in the restroom in the office because you want to make sure everything's still just right. You check your hair, it's good. You look between your teeth, nothing stuck there. Everything's okay. You head out and you realize, oh, I'm in the wrong restroom. Why? Because you're a little nervous. You're a little off stride. But you wander on down to your new desk, to your new office, on your new behind your new name on your new door, and you're ready to go. You sit down. Now what? What do you do? Will they start? Will they listen to you? Will they obey what you say? Will they follow your direction, your lead? Will your team members meet the goals you set out for them? Or will you be embarrassed? Will they talk about you the way that you talked about your boss? What's going to happen now? What do you start doing? Well, you scratch your head for a few minutes and then you settle back down to just exactly what you thought you ought to be doing. The first thought, productivity, right? You start with the easy stuff. That's what you know. That's what you've been doing all your life. You're really good at it. That's why you got promoted. You understand the processes, you understand the tactics, you understand the standards, the expectations. That's what your evaluations have been based on. That's what you expect your evaluations now will be based on being productive. So that's where you're going to start, right? You know the spreadsheets, you know the charts, you know the reject rates, you know everything about it. But if you focus on productivity right off, you probably won't achieve it, at least for very long. Why? Does that make any sense? Well, it does. But first, we'll look at 4 critical building blocks for your work as a manager that must come before focusing on productivity. If you don't do these things right, then productivity is not going to happen. If it does, not very long. I'm Dwight Frank. I'm a management professor for over 25 years. This isn't my first career though. I started off managing my first job when I was about 21, and I was managing people who were smarter than I was, who knew the business better than I did, who had a whole lot better handle on what needed to be done than I did, but I was the one who was running the job. I never really could get away from supervising either. I tried all kinds of different jobs and different kinds of careers and ended up in every one being a supervisor or a manager. I enjoyed it in a way. I enjoyed putting my stamp on things. I enjoyed saying, this is what I accomplished and what I've done. But along the way, I studied it, I taught it, I've written about it, I've learned by my mistakes, I've learned from a few successes, I've learned by reading, I've learned by watching others, I've learned by asking questions, and I've learned by a few royal screw-ups too. Now it's time for me to pass along some of the things I've learned along the way. I want to help people who were where I was, but I didn't have anybody to help me. I had to kind of push my way along on my own and hope for the best. I want to make it better for you. I want to give you a better opportunity than what I have. So, back to our message here. Why on earth is productivity the wrong focus? It doesn't make sense, does it? But trust me, it's true. Let's take a look at why. First off, your job is not to manage productivity. You're managing a system. You've got inputs, you've got processes, and you've got outputs. Productivity is an output. Don't start with the output. Manage the system so productivity happens. Not only is it a system, it's a social system made up of people and all that brings. Now it gets interesting. People are your focus. They work the system, you manage the people. You're not trying to run a well-oiled machine, but you're working with people. So what does that mean for you? It means you've got to take a little different angle on it. If you start focusing on the productivity, what the system ought to crank out, the people are going to be abandoned. The people are going to leave you because they're not really sure exactly how to go about it. What can you do? 4 building blocks for you, okay? First off, you need to communicate a vision. You need to paint them a picture of something bigger than themselves, something that helps them see themselves as part of something that's more important than just their own little work group. Are they helping cure cancer by making laboratory instruments? Are they helping build a nation by making railroad ties? Be part of something big and something meaningful. They need a compelling image. They need a sense of being a vital part of something bigger than themselves. That way they can begin taking some pride in their work. This pays off in spades in other ways. We'll see that a little later on in some other videos. But start off with painting for them a picture of a bigger vision, something that draws them and compels them to move along with you. Second, give them an identity that links the vision and links them to one another. They see themselves as part of a group, part of a team, and they see themselves as better off than what they may have seen before. People by nature seek approval and status. Help them to elevate their identity, help them to get a bigger picture and a better picture of who they are, a better sense of their value and their worth and their contributions, and see if that doesn't pull them along as well. You got to be genuine though. Don't flatter them. Help them to see themselves in the very best light. No negativity, just build them up. Okay. One technique, by the way, is communicate and live high standards. Everything you do, everything you say, implies that you've got some high standards personally, professionally, for teamwork, cooperation, for quantity, for quality, for hard work. Set those high standards, expect them to live up to the same high standards you have, and this will begin to snowball. Number 3, set up some accountability methods. Not micromanagement or controlling things, but you want some communication practices that extend the vision and identity and maintain those high expectations that you've established. You need to give them a safe place to discuss successes, challenges, things that they might want to change to make the system work better, anything else that might be helpful. They need a non-threatening place for voice, for venting, and for some development, allowing them to grow, allowing the whole organization and your specific little part of that piece to get better. Number 4, and probably one of the most important concepts in business, is called alignment, okay? You're managing a system, inputs, processes, and outputs, and that system is part of a bigger system, which is probably part of a bigger system, and so on up the line. So you got to make sure that everything is going in the same direction and working together. You start with your customers. First, the end users, the people who are buying the final product and using that, and then all the intermediate users in between. Everything you do is designed and works together to delight your customers. Everything. That means the equipment you use. When you replace equipment, how do you do that? You maintain it, your hardware, any software, how you allocate and use the space that you have, the people that you have, the skills and the qualifications, how you select them and bring them, how you integrate them into the team, how you use them and allocate tasks and jobs and duties and responsibilities to them, the policies, the practices, the goals, the timetables. Everything works together to create pathways to success and eliminate any barriers to success. You also want to be sure you're eliminating any causes of failure. Your piece of the larger system needs to align with that system and all that it tries to do. So the management science is clear. You do the right things in the right ways, productivity is the natural result. You don't have to strive for it. These 4 are critical building blocks that make it work. I hope this little short video opened up some thoughts and some ideas for you. I hope it helps you to rethink what did you do and how you do it. I have 4 sections that each contain 5 videos, so a total of 20 videos in those 4 sections in my library. These are designed to help you become the manager you aspire to be. This video, by the way, is the 3rd in the 1st section. So explore them, enjoy them. I suggest going through them in order, but that's not necessary. I also have an enhanced program. Essentially, it's a college-level course valued at $975, and for a limited time, I'm making that available for free. I didn't have any opportunities like this, and I want to help you with what I learned along the way. So explore those, take a look at the videos that I have, and see if there's some things that appeal to you. If you want to, pull into that free course that I'm offering. This free management course that lays out a foundation for you to become the manager that you want to be. I want to help you go from being the greenhorn to a great manager. There's a tab in each one of these videos that will take you to these, so explore them and enjoy. Until next time, I'm Dwight Frank, and I'm polishing diamonds within.